Alright, shalom, shalom, shalom. Honor, praise, and glory be to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Wahakodash Wakah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders over at the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to you, brothers. Teaching this truth across the four corners of the earth where we have been scattered to due to the curses, the breaching of the contract, of the covenant, which were made by our forefathers, right, of the Israelite nation. Peace and blessings to you, brothers, teaching this truth in sincerity, in spirit, all right, in truth. And to the rest of you of the Israelite nation, which consists of the so-called blacks, aka Negroes, and so-called Latinos and Native American Indians, you women and children, and friends of the prophets, believers out there who will help make up the remnant that will be left after the destruction that's prophesied to come to this earth, primarily to America and the region known as the Middle East, and various other areas. To you I say peace and blessings as well. Alright? Israelites can never perish. Israelites can never perish. You know, and this is a real topic because you got people out here teaching all manners of just madness, man. They're subverting whole households. Let me get that real quick. You know, jealous Edomites coming up, talking about the Israelites have been forsaken. You guys like Vocab Malone saying, or whoever. I know I heard him say that the Edomites were done away. So I know if you think that, if it's people thinking that the Edomites are no more, it's people that think that the Israelites are no more. And that's what I mean by this title, Israelites Can Never Perish. Alright, so this is Titus 1, and I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, "For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision." You got Israelites out here who don't even know they're Israelites talking about the Israelites are no more, and don't even know they're Israelites, right? Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. Okay? So let me go ahead and say, one of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said the Christians are always liars, evil beasts, slow bellies. This witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. Okay, so you got these Edomites out here and these indoctrinated so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians who would like to believe that the Israelites are no more. And you may believe that, and even without even saying that, but just may show you believe that in just saying something like, well, God, he's forsaken the Israelites and he's opened it up to everybody. Man, the Israelites can never perish in any facet besides death. And ultimately, that's going to be done away with. But the Israelites are still here. They never went anywhere. And we're going to go ahead and get on to it. So let's address that first. This is Ecclesiastes. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. This is Ecclesiastes by the Spirit. I got some scriptures lined up, but Spirit always throw in a little more. Salakia. Matter of fact, let me get this one in Psalms since I'm in Psalms. Alright, so Psalms. Let me get the Ecclesiastes. Alright. Salakia, bear with me 1 second. Alright. Ecclesiastes 4:16. It says, and moreover I saw Salakia, wrong verse. Looking at the wrong verse. Ecclesiastes 4:16, there was no end of all the people. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also a vexation, a vanity and a vexation of spirit. All right, so I'm gonna read that one more time. It says, matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 15. I considered all the living which walk under the sun. This is what Solomon said. With the second child that shall stand up in his stead. See, there was no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them, because you come right back. You keep it going. The Israelites left seed, so the Israelites are still here. It says they also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is a vanity and a vexation of spirit. All right. Let me get my next scripture. Let's see. Oh man, this is Psalms 37 and 28. It says, "For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off." So the Israelites are said to be preserved forever. Okay? Now, really quick, I'm gonna get that word for preserve in this American Heritage Dictionary. Because people would like to make you believe that the Israelites are really no more. They're not on the earth. They just, like they said, like Lil Wayne got that line, "Make your world disappear like the Mayans." Well, the Mayans didn't disappear, who were actually Israelites the entire time. They just took on another name. All right? So it's the same thing with the Israelites. The Israelites just took on another name, and they forgot who they were, so who they are. They've forgotten who they are. This is preserved in American Heritage Dictionary, 5th edition. It says, to protect from injury or peril, to keep or maintain intact. And that's pretty much it. You know, that applies. Because everything is talking about, everything else in this is talking about food. Okay, so to preserve, it says to keep or maintain intact. Let's get that word intact. You know? Let's get that word intact. That's gonna be a cut right there. Intact. This won't be a drawn out lesson. It's pretty quick. Just showing you in the scriptures that the Lord, he's not gonna, he's keeping he preserved his saints forever, as we just read. So intact, it says not impaired in any way, untouched. Okay, and then you just have to keep going into words to ultimately get to the nitty gritty of the matter, you know? So the Israelites are said to be intact. They're preserved, meaning intact. And now it says, the next word I'm going to go into is, it says not impaired. So I'm going to get that word for impaired. Why not? All right? So impaired. Okay, we got in part, impaired, diminished. See that? So the Israelites have not, it says intact. Let me go back to it. So according to the God, the Israelites are still intact. They ain't went nowhere. So where they at? They walking around out of their mind. And some of them have awakened, as prophesied. The Lord said we were gonna forget who they were, but in the end times they were gonna remember. Not all of them, but all of them will for sure be reminded. So it says intact, says not impaired in any way, untouched. See, so not impaired in any way. So and when you look up impaired, it says to diminish in strength. What do they say? Strength in numbers, value or quality, damage, make worse. That's impair, salakia, impaired, diminished, weakened, structurally impaired, functioning poorly or incompetently, an impaired driver. Yeah, man, this diminished. So the Israelites are said to be intact, not diminished in any way. Anyway, okay. And just because this is a short lesson, that's why I'll just go into these words, and then I'll close out, obviously, with my scriptures. Okay. So diminished. I'm gonna get that too. Okay. Let's see. Diminished. All right. Diminished. To make. See. Diminish, it says to make or become smaller or less, to taper. See, because what they say, it's funny, brother by the spirit said the other day, like the baby kids say, we don't die, we multiply. You know what I'm saying? That's literally how the Israelites do, and that's why they want to put out this. It's been a narrative put out here that the Israelites are no more because the so-called white man have played a role in them forgetting who they were, and the taking on and being accustomed with the bywords, which is why you think the Israelites are no more. Which I'll get real quick. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 37, and it says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. And this is something that's being said to the Israelites, because when you go to the top of this chapter, when you go to the beginning of this book, Deuteronomy 1:1, it say these are all the words that are spoken unto Israel. And then when you go back to that 28th chapter and you jump down to the 15th verse, gives you the context of everything after the 15th verse, which was said to be curses, which I'll get one sec. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And we jump down to the 37th verse, it says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, one of these curses, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither Yahweh shall lead thee. So you, after being cast out of our land, we said that the Israelites were said to take on bywords, be proverbs, become an astonishment. So that's what happened. We took on different names. That's what happened to the Israelites, because the Israelites are today called so-called blacks, Negroes, Mexicans, Latinos, Hispanics, Native American Indians, okay? And then when you go into that word by word in the same dictionary, it says a proverb, an often used word or phrase. So niggas, right? One that represents a type, class, niggas, spics, wetbacks, you know what I'm saying? What they call it, the so-called Native American Indians, blanket butt, something like that. It's crazy, man. It says one that represents a type, class, or quality. Okay? So a proverb, man. It's an often used word or phrase. It's not even, basically, it's not, it has nothing to do with who you actually are. It's something said about you. It's just a word put on you. Nigga, oh, he black, she black, Latino. That's who you're called, and that's what the Israelites are going around claiming themselves to be. That's not even a thing. Black, Negro, Mexican, Latino. What do those things go back to? Nothing but the curses. So the Israelites can never perish. They are intact. Right? They're not diminished. They haven't been lessened. We've multiplied and just been covered up. So going back to the scriptures. So this is Psalms 37 and 28. For the Lord loveth judgment and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, despite all of that. But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. So the only people that's going to be cut off is the so-called white man. You see? His seed. Next scripture, and this will be it. This is Joel. So this is good, man. Because people will just talk, vain talkers. See? This is Joel 3, and I'm going to start at verse 20. It said, but Judah shall dwell forever. Now, how would that be if Israelites can perish? If Israelites could be forsaken, if the Israelites can be no more, how could Judah dwell forever? Judah is of the tribe of Israel. Judah actually is the southern kingdom. In a general sense, but being more specific as a tribe, those are Israelites. It says Judah, but Judah shall dwell forever. And Jerusalem, that's all the Israelites now, from generation to generation. For I will clean their blood that I have not cleansed. For the Lord dwelleth in Zion. So if he can't get rid of himself, because he dwells within us. So you people finished, man. You know, that's pretty much all I want to bring out. The Israelites can never perish. There's nothing else that pretty much comes to mind. So, you know, Lord willing, it's been edifying, man. I'm going to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Yeah, man. This is discontinuing from our heritage. And the Israelites discontinuing from their heritage. We discontinue from our heritage, and then we were said to bethink ourselves in the places that the Lord drove us, I believe. You know? Yeah, I'm going to read this. This is Ezekiel 6 and 9. And they that escape of you shall remember me among the nations, whether they shall be carried captives. See that? Because I am broken with their whorish heart, which hath departed from me, and with their eyes which go a-whoring after their idols, and they shall loathe themselves for the evils which they have committed in all their abominations. And they shall know that I am the Lord, and that I have not said in vain that I will do this evil unto them. So that's pretty much it. I think it's another one in Baruch. You know, just cause, you know, cause it's clear. You know, scriptures say when, you know, you exalt the Lord, you put forth all your strength, man. So you could never go far enough. So who am I to just think that he said we was gonna bethink ourselves. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, man. So we the Israelites can never perish, man. Oh, I got another scripture I wanna get real quick, just cause this is it's one in Baruch 2. I can't find it. He said we was gonna bethink ourselves. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, man, that's that, man. You know, I guess I could just bring this out real quick. This is Jeremiah 33, and I'm gonna start at verse. This the cut. This the cold cut right here, man. It says, Jeremiah 33 and 24. Considerest thou not what this people have spoken, saying, the two families which the Lord hath chosen, he hath even cast them off? Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. Thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with not with day and night, and if I have not not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth. So did the Lord appoint the ordinances of heaven and earth? How the earth is to go, how the earth is was set up. Is he not behind all of that? Is he not behind? Does he not have a deal with day and night? They rotate. Is he not behind that? Yes, right? So he said, if I have not appointed the ordinances, let me read it again. 30:25, thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. So the Israelites are still on the planet Earth. So now you people got to be a fool after this to not believe that. Now it's finding out who they are, and we telling you who. So Lord willing, has been edifying. We give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Shemi Al Shah. Shalom. Wahakodash Ka. Shalom.